Rose Hall to reopen this year. Enrico Beaufort, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6154. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa announced that the Rose Hall estate will be reopened before the end of this year. The PPPC administration has been pushing to revive the struggling sugar industry, despite facing hurdles and pumping billions of dollars into it. The minister pointed out that the industry was producing 216,352 metric tons of sugar in 2015 when the PPPC left government, but it decreased to 92,256 metric tons in 2019. The government continues to invest billions into the sugar industry, despite it operating at a loss and expecting it to continue running at a loss for the next several years. The police have captured the suspect in relation to the murder of Nazaleen Mohammed. Yesterday, the police force issued a wanted bulletin for Tionarine Saw, called Boise. Based on information received, the suspect was arrested in an abandoned house at Mahika during a pre-dawn operation today. Mohammed's battered body was found floating in a canal at Hope Lowlands Railway Embankment on the East Coast on Monday. Housing Minister Colin Crowell has revealed that the government is ramping up its efforts to regularize informal settlements this year. Minister Crowell stated that this initiative is a key component of the government's ongoing regularization program. The minister mentioned areas along the Zoostag Highway that are being addressed. Other areas that will be targeted include Hurst-Ellington Grove on the east bank of Demerara, which has over 341 informal settlers, as well as Success on the east coast of Demerara. Several months after DNA samples were sent abroad to be tested to confirm if the remains are missing men Answar Stool and Suraj Daneshwar, the Guyana police force is still awaiting the results. Crime Chief Wendell Blenheim on Tuesday confirmed that the DNA samples are still abroad and the results are expected to be returned to the force shortly. He also said the DNA sample for Mark Melville was sent to the Guyana Forensic Science Laboratory for testing before being sent abroad for further testing. Today, 35-year-old cane harvester Tajaram Rahim confessed to fatally stabbing his wife during a domestic altercation at their home in Rosignol, West Bank, Berbice in 2020. Rahim was arraigned for the capital offense of murder. However, he opted to plead guilty to the lesser count of manslaughter. Sentencing was deferred until February 20th. The regional chairman of Region 10, Duron Adams, and other regional leaders criticized the central government over the exclusion of major regional projects from the national budget, including the proposed construction of the $660 million regional administration office and the new Wisma-Mackenzie Bridge across the Demerara River. The regional chairman said the 2023 budget represents another year of imposition of projects not proposed by the RDC, and that the government has disregarded and shown a lack of care for the people of Region 10. He also complained about the state of roads, water problems, and the fact that the government did not approve the required funding for agriculture development for farmers in the region.
It's a new year. How about you make your truck run like new with Powered Automotive? Powered Automotive has truck parts and spares from all the major brands you know and love at prices you won't find anywhere else. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Ghana.
Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eats is here to make your life easier. Ghana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy. All Uncut News viewers can get 10% off all orders made on GT Eats up until January 31st. Today, the police recovered an unlicensed weapon from a man who was wearing a black hoodie and was seen acting suspiciously at the Meadowbank Wharf in Georgetown. Apparently, he ran away from the officers and dropped the weapon in the process. Nevertheless, it was collected and taken to the Rumford police station, and an investigation has been launched. The man is still on the run. The International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly Guyana ID-Para-G is a local group established for observances of the United Nations declared celebration. Funds allotted to it have recently become the subject of controversy between it and the PPPC government, as the organization has moved to the court to order the government to pay the remainder of allocated funds for 2020 to the organization. However, the Attorney General's chambers countered back by asking it for a breakdown of specific expenditures over the previous 4-year period. Blundering Basil Williams has been unsuccessful in his attempts to avoid being sued in his personal capacity in a defamation claim which former Deputy Solicitor General Prithmia Kitsoon had filed against him. Dismissing his application, the Caribbean Court of Justice made it clear that in accordance with Guyana's law, with the exception of the president, there was nothing prohibiting an office holder from being directly sued. On Monday, the Minister of Labour said that workplace deaths decreased by 20% in 2022. According to Hamilton, in 2021, 32 persons lost their lives in the workplace. Last year, this was reduced to 26%, which would average to about one person dying every 2 weeks. So if that wasn't enough, here's another troubling statistic. The International Organization for Migration Missing Migrants Project documented at least 321 deaths and disappearances of migrants in the Caribbean in 2022, the majority of victims coming from Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and about half of the bodies that were recovered are still yet unidentified. Now for today's oil update. Starboard block operator ExxonMobil hit payday once again earlier this month. The announcement was made by its partner, Hess Corporation, today. According to Hess, Exxon made a significant oil discovery at the Fangtooth SE1 well, adding to the block's gross discovered recoverable resource estimate of more than 11 billion barrels of oil equivalent. The discovery is located approximately 8 miles southeast of the original Fangtooth 1 discovery and was made in 6,030 feet of water. In other oil news, Guyana is currently in talks with Qatar, Britain, and the United Arab Emirates as well as India on the possibility of directly allocating offshore blocks for oil and gas exploration in parallel with a bidding round this year. Guyana will receive bids through mid-April from energy firms for its competitive bidding round. Trinidad and Tobago has been given the green light by the U.S. Treasury Department to develop a gas field in Venezuela's territorial waters, with approval given on the grounds of the importance of energy security for Trinidad and Tobago and the region as a whole. The decision has been met with criticism from the Venezuelan government, who claims that the gas fields are located within its exclusive economic zone. But according to the U.S. government, they'd rather have the oil and gas come from there than it come from other countries such as Russia.
Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's latest car on sale. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, park camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $9.95 million. All pay as low as $1.99 million down, with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lama Street, and tell them Nuriga sent you for this sweet deal.
It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. You can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info.
Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it least to us. Last night I asked, how do you feel about the new model PSA?
But before we get to that, I'd like to say a special thank you to our 2 paid supporters, Dion Nascimento and David Griffith. Thank you for your support, as it is what helps us bring you the news every evening.
GoldenEye says, the current PSA is better than the last, but not when it does not apply to ExxonMobil and their new fines. Sade Wilson says, the current PSA may be better, but we still have room for improvement and understanding. They should check up more on it. And finally, Jay Jiram says the current PSA is better than the previous one. So yeah, bring it on. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the government's plan to reopen the Rose Hall Sugar Estate? Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think it's a waste of money? Why or why not? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.